Hey YouTube, T. Holtz here. We're looking at my 10-gallon shrimp tank. There's the red cherry shrimp. It's about 25 or so in here. I recently pulled out a lot of Amazon frogbit. You can see all the roots right here in the center of the picture. That's all roots that are dangling down from the Amazon frogbit. And what happens after a couple weeks time, the frogbit completely takes over the tank. It covers the entire surface of the tank, blocks all the light, and then I have to go pull it out, which I did 2 days ago. There you get a good shot. Look at the roots coming off that frogbit. The shrimp really like it. And you see the surface, it was completely covered 2 days ago. And then I took it off and threw most of it out, as I do every couple weeks. But what I found in this tank, which is, I'm not really sure how it got here. Look at those red plants there right in the center. Those are red root floaters. The only way that they could have gotten here is just before Thanksgiving. I got some Salvinia minima, and I put the Salvinia minima in here because I wanted something other than the frogbit, because the frogbit is just too big. The leaves are too big, and it covers the tank real quickly and stops the surface movement. It's really not a plant that you want to put in a small tank like this. But the Salvinia minima, all of that died right away within a couple weeks time. I don't know why, but it all died pretty quickly. And just a couple weeks ago, now this was back in November, and just about 2-3 weeks ago, I seen like a leaf of these red root floaters, maybe 2 leaves. And it must have come with the Salvinia, but somehow it took all that time for me to see them. And I positioned them right under the light here, and they have grown, doubled and tripled in size. Now I don't know if I can get a shot of the roots, the red roots here. There they are. You can see the red roots there coming down right in the center of the picture from these red root floaters. And what I would like to do is I like to be able to get the red root floaters to be covering the whole tank, and not have so much of this frogbit in here. There'll be a much nicer look. This frogbit prevents any kind of surface movement once it gets over the top of the tank, covers the entire tank, and I think that eventually is what killed off my auto cats that I had in here. It covered the whole top of the tank, prevented surface movement, and there was no gas exchange to provide oxygen. The shrimp survived, but my auto cats did not. I never did find the bodies of the autos. I think the shrimp probably ate them once they died, because the shrimp will eat anything. But I just thought it was interesting that it took me about 3.5 months after adding the Salvinia, which all died, before I noticed these red root floaters. So I've got them positioned right under the light, and we'll see how they grow. Normally, if they're not healthy, their leaves are green, but these, as you can see, are red leaves, so there is enough nutrients in the water to keep the leaves red. And I did add some iron today, just in case, some C-Chem iron, to maybe help these plants grow quicker. That would be awful cool if I could get this tank covered. As you can see the roots there, if I could get this tank covered in red root floaters instead of this Amazon frogbit. Quick shot of the 20-gallon high. Put a new light bulb in here and have some algae, and I thought it would help the plants grow better, but it's pretty much had the opposite effect. Some of the plants over here on this side have melted away, and there's algae on the leaves, so that's kind of a strange. I guess I threw off the balance by adding a new light bulb to this tank. We'll do a quick shot here of the Discus. Discus just finished eating. They ate some bloodworms tonight. Frozen bloodworms, they really like them. I give them frozen bloodworms, I give them some flake food, and freeze-dried blackworms. This tank will be getting a few more Discus. I keep saying that, but eventually I'm going to add a few more Discus to this tank. Also put some pool filter sand in the bottom, so I don't just have a bare bottom. Pool filter sand, all the dirt that the Discus make, uneaten food or whatever dirt might be in here will sit on top of the pool filter sand, and I'll be able to see it. It won't work its way down like it would into gravel, and I'll have to go in and siphon the dirt out just as I do now. When I siphon the dirt off the bare bottom, I'll just siphon the dirt off the pool filter sand, and then hopefully I'll be getting a couple of more Discus pretty soon. And one more thing I want to show over here. That is a flower coming out of the water from my Anubias. This is a plant that I've had in here for quite some time, a couple years. Some of the leaves, as you can see, the older leaves are got some algae on them, got some holes in them, kind of raggedy. But there's a new leaf right there just unfurling behind the flower. And there's another new leaf coming right there on its way up. But that flower's out of the water. It hasn't opened up yet, but within the next couple days I'm sure it will open up and be a flower. It'll be the second time that I've had a flower on an Anubias plant. Not in this tank. It'll be the first time in this tank, my 20-gallon long. Here's my Apisto. I have that big male right there. That little bitty one, that's a runt that never grew. He's been that size since I got him, so that one's not going to get any bigger. This guy doesn't really bother him, chases him a little bit, but he doesn't really do any damage, doesn't catch him or nip at his fins. I put a row of Blixa japonica here behind the dwarf sage. I got dwarf sage, then a row of Blixa japonica, and then some water sprite, some cryptocorin, Wente brownleaf, and Rotala indica in the back. I've been pulling this Blixa japonica out of another tank, putting it right there. It hasn't really grown that much, but it's staying green, and that's the main thing. I don't care if it doesn't spread out. I really don't want it to spread out. I just want it to stay green there, right where it is. Sometimes this tank too gets covered with frog bit, although the frog bit doesn't grow anywhere near as well in my other tanks as it does in the shrimp tank. This tank gets a lot of duckweed coverage. The frog bit likes the LED lights that are in that shrimp tank, and it doesn't really like the fluorescent T5 lighting that I have in my other tanks. And we'll take a quick look at the TV tank. Video's getting long enough. All these tanks got water changes within the past couple days. This tank got a water change today. There's one of my two Bolivian rams staring at the camera there. You see that big clump of Blixa japonica in the center? That's the one I'm pulling out and putting it in that tank we just saw. Kabamba doing very well. Banded cory cats, I don't see them very often. They usually stay over there out of the light. They don't really like light. They stay where it's subdued lighting. This guy here wants to get on the shot again before we end this video. My Bolivian ram. That's all I got for tonight. Thanks for watching.